Okay, Eli Tomac, 2 rounds in, looking at yourself as a rider, where is your strength at the moment and where is your weakness?
Well, my strength is just riding well. Like overall, everything's pretty good right now. Like I'm happy with my motorcycle. I've thrown up some good results. Just last week I just would love that second moto back. It was a very frustrating one with basically 1 being like a racing incident and 2 being me crashing, and I could only manage one of those in my opinion to get on the podium, and me having those 2 mistakes got me off the podium. So overall, kind of happy with everything. Like yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at. I just need to keep going and keep executing what I'm doing.
Same question with the bike. Where is the bike really good and where does it perhaps still need some work?
I'm happy with the balance of the bike, but I'll say at Paula, like that was a tough race. My hands got pretty torn up there. It's kind of usual for the first round, but if I was to change anything, I'd be like, hey, could I somehow get more comfort in my bars at Paula? But first round's tough, man, to get through that race and not get a big blister on your hand or something. If I'm looking back at anything right now, it's that, like, could I manage my hands better?
Did you do anything to try and fix that then? Were there steps taken or did you just accept that as part of the outdoors?
I kind of accept it as Paula and West Coast style of dirt.
So if it continues, that's when you'll go, we have work to do.
Exactly, yep.
And we've only got one more question, kind of off the wall. When do you expect to have your plans for 2026 finalised? Are we getting closer to that sort of time?
That's an unknown right now. Yeah, I can't go into any depth with that.
Cooper Webb, 2 rounds in. Aside from the first moto at Parla, I feel like this has been solid, steady, consistent, maybe better than the results even show. Like, I think this is positive, but where are you at?
Yeah, I would agree, man. It was definitely a bummer to have that mechanical in the first moto, but yeah, the results have been good. I mean, I feel good. It wasn't like I had a great prep coming into the outdoor season, so for me, I just want to build every round, be in the mix, be in the fight, and yeah, right now I'm like that 5 to 8, and I'm happy with that. You know, I've said it from the beginning. I think if I can start dipping into that top 5 and try to be at the podium maybe by the end of the season, that's my goals, and just want to be out here racing. So yeah, I've been happy. I'm riding well. It's pretty much going pretty good so far.
Is the team on the same page as you? Like, have you had to manage expectations a little bit and be like, hey guys, we're not ready to go for the podium? Like, do they almost want too much at points?
No, they've been awesome, actually. They're kind of reverse of me. I think sometimes I want a lot more, and they've just been the ones that are like, hey, have some fun. You haven't raced a full outdoor season in, 4 years? We know it's going to take time. We know the bike's going to get better, and we got to learn new outdoors and stuff like that. So, I think as long as I'm giving it my all, which I have been, they're happy. And yeah, I think we know that I'm going to get hopefully better, especially as we go more East Coast and stuff like that. And as you can tell, I'm a little under the weather, clearly. So this weekend might be a suffer, but other than that, I think we're going to get better with each round.
Hard to say because there isn't much to compare it against, but comparing your comfort level now to outdoors on the KTM, is there a much bigger window for you to work with?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, right? I had some great races on the KTM. Obviously, throughout the years, I wasn't as strong outdoors on the KTM as Supercross, but yeah, I think the bike right now is in a great spot. It's just this competition is insane, right? I think my riding is probably better than maybe 23 and even 21, but there's so many good guys now, and that's what makes it tough to be on the podium or back winning races at this level, right? So, like I said, you kind of have to put that physical results inside and base it off just riding. And I feel like my riding is pretty good at the moment.
Last question, similar to the team question. You've been very upfront with your expectations and knowing where your limit is, but have even you caught yourself in a point where you want too much and you have to talk to yourself and step away a little bit?
Honestly, normally, yes. But I think for me, this summer so far has just been very open-minded, and I really didn't know what to expect. Like I said, my prep coming in, I didn't ride but 2 days of outdoors before Salt Lake, and that was during the first break. and we went all in on Supercross. So it was basically, hey, we're starting day one of testing Tuesday after Salt Lake, and yeah, I think I didn't know where to expect. I know my fitness is good, but I do have lack of motos, so I think that's only going to get better, and I've surprised myself with how good I felt for 2 motos, and especially in the second moto, fighting for, that 5th place the last 2 motos. So yeah, I'm happy with it, right? And I think I got to be realistic with myself and know that lately I've been more of a Supercross guy, and I do think I'm a good outdoor rider too, but I have to work at it more, and that's just how it's going to be. And once again, I haven't raced a full season since 21, so like I said, realistic. I need to have good goals and keep fighting, and I'm motivated for the summer, and I think that's half the battle. And now with the playoffs, it's good to be in the fight. So I'm just looking forward to having, as crazy as it sounds, a fun summer. I look at it as I did my job in Supercross, and now I can just kind of go out there, do my thing, and if I get on that podium, then that's like a win.
One more quick question, because I just thought of it, and be honest, no one's going to listen. If the playoffs didn't exist, are you racing outdoors right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm racing outdoors. I'm contracted, right? And
but the number 1 seed is your. I feel like that's your
that's
main
a goal, right? Yeah, I think my goals entering outdoors was to race every round. I haven't done that in 4 years, and then come into SMX with a top 3 seeding, which, as of this moment, is a very achievable goal, and I believe I can contend or be a top 3 guy in the SMX Championship, like when we go to playoffs. So that's my goal. And like I said, anything along the line of this outdoor season is just a cherry on top, and I think it's just good too. I think people think I'm like a 15th place outdoor guy, and it's good to remind people that I'm not, right? I mean, I've been battling Jorge and past winners and guys that have been on the podium, so I'm right in the mix. It's just going to take me some time to maybe get closer to those front guys.
Jorge Prado, first of all, what did you do this week? What did you test? What progress did you make? Is there a massive difference from where you were 7 days ago?
Well, we are doing small steps. I feel like this week we make another step in the right direction, but all the steps are small. So, but the good thing is we're making progress. The bad thing would be if we don't progress, but we do get better every week. So I'm happy with that. My team and the team and myself, we are pushing very hard to get where we belong, and it's just a matter of time. So hopefully tomorrow I can feel more comfortable, and we can push it a little bit more.
How different is the way of working with an American team versus an MXGP team? Do you notice a lot of differences in the way that people talk, people act, and stuff gets done?
I don't know. I feel like at the level we are right now, I think all the teams are very professional. So I'm happy with the team and how we work. So no complaints.
In MXGP, we do have some elevation. Turkey, I believe. Sumbawa, I think, maybe?
No.
Nothing compared to Visso, I don't think.
Sumbawa, it's by the sea.
But, okay, so I argued about this with someone yesterday. Yes, but I remember the first year, all the teams were telling me that somehow it was still elevation.
Yeah, because, so it was because of the humidity, I think.
Oh, okay.
And stuff like that. Probably,
okay, yeah.
That make the bike slower.
Okay, yeah, maybe
a little
that's it. Okay, yes, that was it. Everyone was telling me they thought it would be fine because it was an elevation, but the humidity did the same.
Yeah.
You should be a journalist. Well, I'm better at this. But you've never raced anything like this, right?
No, like even Turkey, we are in elevation, but it's not like this.
No.
It's maybe halfway, I think.
Yes.
So this is pretty crazy. Like when I watch on my phone, the elevation is like 1,900 meters or 1,800 meters. That's a lot of elevation. You know what I mean? It's so the bikes will feel like 85s. I don't know how the bike will feel, but
you're a great 85 rider, so might not help the power.
But no, I think it should be fun. The track looks very nice, so I'm excited to get on the bike and ride.
Yeah, maybe looking at this track, this is more of what you dreamt of coming to America instead of Hangtown?
Well, everybody's like, oh, Pala, Hangtown, they're not like the greatest.
They're not.
I'm like, these are probably better than any track I raced in the past, you know? Like, Hangtown was super fun to race and to ride. Bigger jumps, fast track, you can go outside, inside. It's actually fun to ride, and this one looks even better.
Are you still in the process of learning how to race the American tracks and using all of the lines? Or is that coming to you quite quickly?
I can answer that question once I get into a real battle.
That's a good point. So you don't feel like you've had a real battle yet?
Nope.
I guess most of the time you've been coming forward from that start.
From 20th?
Yeah, which I'm not used to asking you questions like this. Normally we talk about your whole shots, so
Yes.
This is very weird for both of us.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little better starts on the weekend, even though it's tricky, but hopefully we get back to normal starts, and I need to somehow make it work, and I don't know what to say.
I'm still waiting for 2 feet down. One day, I'm waiting. I'm watching every week.
Okay, watch.
If I see it, then I'm taking all the credit in the world.
And did I ever say something about that?
No, I said it to you at Parlour. I gave you the idea. You don't remember? Yes, you don't remember.
Well,
it's fine. I do.
I tried that in Supercross.
Oh?
Yeah, at the test track.
And?
I'm used to 1 foot down, but well, things can change, like quick.
Last thing, in MXGP you were always very honest about coming through the field isn't your strong point. You spent so much time starting up front. You never hid from that weakness. Do you feel like you've already gotten a little bit better at it with the bad starts you've had in this championship?
Well, I think I said that maybe in 22 and 23, around 21, those years. Last year I didn't have any problems going through the field in MXGP. I won Sweden first moto. I started 20th or 15th, and I won the moto. So I wouldn't say I had any problems. So I think I got better, and even last weekend at Hangtown I came from the back making some passes, and because I don't have my real speed, it also makes it harder for me. But yeah, we are getting there, and as I get more comfortable with the bike, I will get faster, and as I get faster, it will be easier to pass also, and hopefully we don't need to pass because then we start in the front. So my main goal right now is to feel comfortable with the bike and get again good starts like I used to.
Okay, Justin Cooper, solid start to you so far through 2 rounds. Do you feel like you still have a lot of growing to do? Like, is this just the beginning?
I feel like we're in a good spot. Even ending Supercross out like that, and then the first 2 outdoors in the top 5. Podium too. So we got 2 second place finishes. That's already better than last year outdoors. So I just feel like all around a better rider in Supercross and motocross this year, and I think that showed. So excited to come in. This is probably my favorite national of the year, so it's a good time for it. And I'm looking for a moto win. That'd be cool. And if not, maybe we can translate into that into an overall. But these guys are all riding so good at a high level, and it's hard to just expect that. So just gonna keep doing what we're doing, and I think we're in a good spot there.
Yeah, how do you manage the expectations coming into a weekend like this? Because honestly, the sky's the limit for you around here.
Yeah, just last year we led 25 minutes each moto. The whole shot's definitely helped that, but I've always done good here. Only missed the podium once here. So I think, overall, that's just good vibes here for me, and looking forward to tomorrow. I think I can really, battle for the win tomorrow, and that's the plan. I want to get overall. That'd be really cool. Still looking for my first win, and why not here?
This is maybe a weird question, but with Chase out, I think you must be up there for most consecutive races. So how's the motivation and all of that? Because you're on a longer grind than a lot of these guys.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta have the most in a row for sure. It's tough. You gotta really reset when you can, and it just feels like everything is blending into one now, and so many races in a row. It's just like another weekend, right? So I've kind of gotten used to it. I'm trying to, stay refreshed and motivated for each round, but I guess the results are the thing motivating me right now. We're doing better each time out pretty much, and what more can you ask for there? You just got to keep climbing the ladder.
You said everything kind of blends together at this point. So do you see that in testing as well, where you've been on this train for so long, but when the team throws ideas at you, you're like, I've taken in so much information, we tried this, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, I try to rely on the team as much as I can, and it's honestly, just stuff that even testing, it's like going through the motions now. It's so much time on the bike, so many days during the week. It's just like gets so repetitive. So try to keep it, just keep switching it up in different ways. Mentally it's the hardest to kind of reset from, but sometimes you just got to go through the motion and show up and kind of forget about everything until the motos start, and just go out there, do your best, and then it's kind of where I'm at right now. Just matters on Saturday, and then the rest of the days just kind of try to get away from it.
Last one. Potentially, you could have the #1 seed going into the playoffs. Do you care, or is it really not that big a deal?
It'd be cool to have the red plate, for sure. Other than that, though, it's not a big deal. Looking good. I mean, it's definitely, it's appetizing for me. It's something to chase, but not the end of the world. First, second, third, it's definitely a good spot to go into the playoffs. But we're still a long ways from that. As we get closer, it'll probably become more of a thing. But as for right now, just try to do the best I can, and that'll help translate to that.
Valentin, Guillod, first of all, you've been in America for 2 weeks, and you're already causing a lot of trouble by screwing up Eli Tomac last week. The American fans aren't happy. So welcome to America, and my advice is don't do that again. Maybe just let him go.
No, I don't want to do that again. Now, why this happened? Because in MXGP you are looking the gate, what's the best position for the corner. So it's what I did, and next to Tomac was the best way to take the corner. But actually what I learned with this story with Eli is that you don't have to look the gate where you want to start, you have to look the ruts after.
Right.
Because that was my problem. I make a good jump, but the problem my ruts was a big bump. So I cased this bump and I go on Eli.
Yeah.
So this is something that I learned that don't look the gate where you want to start, look the ruts after.
Well, welcome to the Lewis Training School. I've already helped Haarup with this. Haarup has changed his technique based on my advice. Vial said to me that the reason he wasn't getting starts in America is because the 1 foot up, like in GPs, just doesn't work with the ruts. And you have to do 2 feet down, otherwise it's impossible. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm starting with 1 foot down.
And you're noticing problems?
It's what I see on the video, what they film, it's that, at the moment I took this bump, that I go on the side because my feet on the foot pegs, I push on it, it's on the left and Eli was on the left. So I have to try to see a bit what I can improve with the start.
And what did you think of the heat at Hangtown compared to Indonesia? Mantova has been hot sometimes. I think that's about it for hot MXGP rounds.
It was horrible. So in Europe we don't have that.
No.
We don't have. Sometimes it's hot. But
were you at Max Ottabiano in 2018? That was horrible.
Yeah.
And also Mantova in 2016.
Yeah.
Those are the only two European rounds that I can think of.
Then for sure we have Indonesia, China. China last year was horrible.
Well, there was also a typhoon, so.
Didn't get sick, so luckily. But it was more humidity a bit. Yeah, then I think it's what we're gonna find in South Lake or Butts Creek, like a lot of humidity, hot. But here it was like the sun was burning, the fire was going down. Like the fan was just bringing hot air on me before to start. So no, I think the big difference is that the track are way faster, so you can't really recover. It was just physically I was too short and it was really horrible and now we are in Denver. It's way colder. With t-shirt it's quite cold, but last weekend is last and now we are focused on this weekend.
Last question. You've done Supercross before, you've raced Geneva. Are you going to try to do SMX? Because I think you could do that fine.
Yeah, it's my goal to qualify for SMX. my goal is now to show my real speed on 450 outdoor, and then if I put some good points, I have the possibility to qualify. So that's my goal.
Haiden Deegan, I want to deep dive some comments you made last week about the bike not quite being where it needs to be yet. Where does it need to improve? Where are you noticing a weakness on the track? Just give us an in-depth explanation of what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think last weekend we got the bike better compared to the first round, so that was a plus. The rear, I mean, I ride this bike really hard, harder than anyone probably rides a bike in the 250 class. So I got to get my bike stiffer but comfortable, where you're not tightening up as well. So it's kind of like a middle line where you got to figure it out. And I feel like I got my bike pretty dialed in. The goal is stiffer the bike, the faster you can go, I feel like. So I'm trying to go stiffer but make it comfortable, and I feel like we're at a pretty good point right now.
Maybe this is a lame question, but you are clearly the best 250 rider. How do you stay motivated? How do you find that when, to be honest, we're only 2 rounds in, but you've asserted yourself at the top quite clearly?
Yeah, I just think it's the little things. I mean, outside of racing, like I get to go buy stuff. You make money winning races. I mean, you got to think each race win is, you're almost bringing in 100K, close to that. So it's like, the money is really the motivator, the money and the legacy. I want to carry that legacy that my dad brought into the sport and be establish my own name. And I feel like I've already done that. I mean, I've won 4 championships already, but we just got to keep it going.
Do you think you're the complete outdoor rider now, or is there still work to do there as well?
What did you say?
Do you think you're the complete outdoor rider, or is there more work to do?
No, I feel like I'm getting better. This year, I feel like it's a whole lot better than last year. My speed's come around, I've gotten bigger, I've gained like 10, 15 pounds since last year and muscle mass. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm getting stronger, I'm getting faster, and I mean, I'm only 19 still, so I don't know how much more growing I have left, but maybe a little, but race-wise, we can always get better, so I feel like last year, this year compared to last year, we're a whole lot better though.
Where did you feel like, or why did you feel like you needed to gain that muscle mass? Was it just to have an energy reserve at the end of the motos?
No, to be honest, it was just like, it just happened. Like, I wasn't even trying to. I just like started getting bigger and bigger, and yeah, I just put on about 10, 15 pounds, and I was like, I mean, all right. I mean, I feel stronger, I feel more fit, so I was like, that's a plus.
Last question, random question. Is there any chance you do 450 Supercross next year? Even 1%? Is it on the table as a discussion?
I don't know, maybe. It just depends, because I mean, obviously, if my plan is to do 450 outdoors, I'll probably do some preseason stuff on a 450, outdoors-wise. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know. I enjoy winning in this 250 class, because it's a little bit, I'm sure it's going to get a little bit harder when I get to the 450 class, which I'm ready for. I want to go fight for wins in the 450 class. So just working baby steps now, and maybe.
Mikkel, Haarup, 2 rounds in, what surprised you about the outdoors so far? Is there one thing that really stands out that you just weren't expecting from this experiment?
No, honestly, not that much. I mean, the field is a little deeper than I maybe anticipated, but it makes sense when thinking about it. I mean, there's so many factory bikes, so naturally there'll be a lot of fast kids. And tracks, like I said already when we did the last time, the track in Prado was pretty rough. The second one wasn't too bad in Hangtown, but yeah, let's see how it turns out this weekend.
We're at elevation here. Turkey, you have to start first gear, right? That's maybe the most elevated MXGP round we have?
Yes, I believe. Turkey's, I believe, is what is around 1,000 meters in elevation. I believe so. This one is 1,600, so it's definitely a difference.
I remember, wasn't Sumbawa at elevation?
As far as I'm aware, I mean, nothing comes close to this.
No.
But
we have a couple. Mexico? Did you ever go to Mexico?
No, I never did.
Wow, that makes me feel old as shit.
Was Brazil as well?
I don't know. I never went to Brazil.
Oh, okay.
You're too young to go to Mexico, and I'm too young to go to Brazil.
Gotcha.
How much do you think you're going to get to a point where you're comfortable this season? Because there's only 11 rounds, we're already 2 down.
Yeah.
Do you almost feel like you're in a race against time, in a race against the clock?
I'm not stressing regardless, but actually I will say already this weekend pulling up, it was a lot more comfortable than what I've been used to. I know the paddock, I know where to go, I know the times, apart from this event, which is the first time that I'm doing.
Yeah, you're very confused about what you're doing here.
Yeah, well I come in, I'm like, is this the tent? What is going on? But no, apart from that, I feel pretty comfortable already. And I know the procedure this weekend. The only thing that confused me is is that from what I've heard, some weekends there's no break in between the two motos.
So this weekend there's no break, and you're second.
Okay, this there you go.
Yeah,
That's
450's first.
Okay,
So.
yeah, there you go. That's what I heard, and I guess once I've tried this, I can't really get surprised the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think that's fair. No, nothing else will happen.
Yeah.
But I think that will be good for you going second. I think a rougher track where you have to be a little more technical, think about it a little more, maybe that will help you shine more so.
Maybe in the first couple laps, yeah, because I think that's where they make the difference. Like they just fucking go balls to the wall that first lap, and because the track is so fast, it allows you to because it's prepped every time, right?
Yeah.
Well, I believe maybe it'll be a little bit rougher when we come out after the 450s, but time will tell. We'll see how it goes this weekend. But overall, I feel good.
Last question, SMX. Is there any chance you do it?
We haven't even spoken about it.
Do you want to?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. We focus on the outdoors and then we see how we progress. Because, in my opinion, SMX is still, the showdowns, right? It's the showdowns. They're still Supercross. From what I understand, people run still Supercross suspension, most of them, and there's rhythm sections and stuff. Not that I wouldn't be able to get ready for it, but is whether I want to take the risk or not. In the end, the outdoors was what I really had to focus on, so we'll see.
Austin Forkner, through 2 rounds, I honestly think it's been better than the results show. Parla was a disaster. You definitely should have had points.
Yeah.
And then last week you dug quite well at the end of the motos, so I think it's been good. Positive sign.
Yeah. Last weekend was definitely a huge step in the right direction for Paula. Obviously, I fell in the first one and then got landed on, picking my bike up, had to get stitches, and then so that left me with last gate pick, going into the second moto. So Paula was just kind of a disaster all around. But last weekend, the results, what did I go, 16, 14 or something like that? It's not that great, but I dug, I fought and I dug to the end. I think I made 3 passes within the last 2 laps of the second moto. I really just need to get a better start and put myself up there with those guys earlier in the moto and sprint a little bit more at the beginning. But last week I felt like it was so hot and I was so kind of worried about overheating and stuff that I didn't really sprint as much as I needed to in the motos, especially early on, because I was trying to kind of pace for the heat and the just the heat throughout the moto. And Paula, I went down in the first lap of the first moto, and then I got a terrible start, so I didn't really get to, work on that kind of sprint speed at Paula either. So I think that's just, I need to get a good start and put myself up there and try to sprint with those guys early. Because that's just, I think, what my deal at Hangtown was. I think I just didn't sprint that much early, which I guess made me stronger later in the motos when I made all those passes, like I said. But I need to put myself in a better position early and run up there with those guys.
Has your Supercross progress translated into outdoors, or is this starting from zero again?
Not zero. That's what I feel like. I'm definitely starting at a better point than I was for Supercross. As far as me and my mindset goes, I'm definitely at a better spot than I started Supercross with. The bike, we're struggling a little bit with the bike just because, I had about a week and a half of outdoor testing on the bike, period. So, we were coming in just a little bit behind the ball, so we're not far off. We definitely learned some things this week that we're gonna try tomorrow in practice with the kind of little time that we have for practice. I think just like I said, me putting myself in a better position early, and if we can get the bike just a little bit better, then I think that we'll definitely start making progress. And I want to be able to build throughout the season, just like I did in Supercross, and how I got better throughout, towards the end of the season. I want to do the same thing, and I think that I will do the same thing in outdoors.
What is the area where the bike needs to improve?
It was really just the shot coming down some of the hills at Hangtown. I just had a little more kick in the rear than I wanted to on some of those fast square edge bumps. And so we tried some stuff this week. The team thought it was coming from the forks. They thought that it was getting too low in the front, and that was causing the back to kind of kick a little bit. Maybe it was a little bit, but it wasn't exactly. And then honestly, the last, literally I was getting changed to be done on Wednesday, and Scuba was like, "Can you go out and try one more thing for me?" And I tried one more thing, and it did make it a little bit better, but it gave us a direction, because we tried some stuff and it wasn't really we didn't really get a direction. We were still kind of guessing on what it was, where we have a direction of stuff to try. Hopefully tomorrow before race day, or if not, then next week before High Point. But we figured out, just like I said, at the end of the day, something that'll, I think, help a little bit tomorrow. But hopefully we can try some more things before it's time to go race that'll make it even better. But yeah, it's kind of, sometimes that is the hard part, and coming from a new team like Triumph that doesn't have the years and years and years of data and all that stuff logged, that they can just go back and look.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the hard part, is figuring out what the actual problem is. Like, okay, because it can be a number of things. You know, I feel this with the back end. Well, okay, that could be coming from the forks.
Yeah.
It could be coming from a chassis thing, as in linkage, motor mounts, the length of the bike, a bunch of things other than just what you would think, like, of the shock. Like, you would think, oh, it's the back end, it's the shock, but it's the front end, it's the forks. But a lot of the time, it's not the case. There's so many things on the bike that affect other things that, you know, that's just not, it's not always as simple as, okay, my front end doesn't feel good, it's 100% the forks. It has to be the forks. It's not always that simple. So we just had to figure it out.
But does Triumph's lack of data give you also maybe a little more freedom? Whereas the team could be like, no, you're crazy, we have a note that says that 5 years ago this happened, so put your idea out of your head and ride the bike.
Yeah, that is something that's good about them, is they do have freedom, and like, I was talking to Scuba right before we left, and he was showing me like the progression of like linkages and how they are, like the graph on how the progressiveness is of the linkage throughout the shock stroke, and just some things like that we were talking about to try for next week, or maybe even to make something new, like make a new part. You know, that's something that is cool, is that, and that a lot of teams, maybe they do have so much data, like you were saying, that they don't want to just go out and be like, let's just make something new.
Yeah.
Like, which that's what Triumph, you know, they have all the nicest machines and everything at the facility, and that's what, you know, something I think that they're open to, is just being like, okay, well, you're not happy with what we have, well, let's figure out something, let's actually make a new part. So yeah, that's what we're gonna try work on next week a little bit, and that's what the team is definitely open to.